Hello students, you all welcome to Guru Gedara English Medium Maths Revision class. Today we are going to discuss about graphs, very important and interesting lesson. In graph lesson based on the theme algebra, you have one short answer question in paper 1 and there's another essay type question in paper 2, right? Graph is a diagram. In a Cartesian plane, we can draw diagrams using a standard rule. There are two types of graphs. We'll see how to identify those two types. Before identifying or discussing about graphs, we are going to pay our attention for learning outcomes. By studying this lesson, you will able to find the gradient of the graph of a straight line, draw the graph of a function of the form y equals x squared plus b. Now, graph of a function of the form y equals mx plus c. This is a linear equation or linear function. In this form, we can draw straight lines. What are the properties of a straight line? Especially in a Cartesian plane, we discuss about a straight line using the gradient and the intercept. Then what is the gradient? Usually gradient is the slope of a straight line with the positive direction of x-axis. But here the graph of a function of the form y equals mx plus c is a straight line. That is a straight line. Is a straight line, right? The coefficient of x. What is the coefficient of x? Coefficient means a number in front of x. But there is a condition. The coefficient of x when the coefficient of y is 1. Right? How to define the gradient? The coefficient of x when the coefficient of y is 1. Here gradient is m. The coefficient of x, which is m, represents the gradient of the line, and constant term c, constant term, no any variable, that is a numerical value. C represents the intercept of the graph. Then we will see how to identify the standard form of the equation of a straight line. Here y means y coordinate, y coordinate. Y coordinate means the number on y axis. X coordinate, the number on x axis. Then this is the definition of the gradient. Difference of y coordinates should be divided by difference of x coordinates. If you consider 2 points like this, 2 points x1, y1, another point here p1, here p2. If you consider x2, y2, then difference of y coordinates is y2 minus y1 should be divided by difference of x coordinates, x2 minus x1. Then the place where straight line intersects the y-axis, the place where the straight line cuts the y-axis. We will see if you consider this is as your y-axis, this is the place. The y coordinate in this place is the intercept or the vertical distance of the straight line. Here vertical distance, you can see a vertical distance. This is also known as the intercept. Right? Now, write down the gradient and intercept of the straight line represented by each of the following equations. There are two ways of finding the gradient of a straight line. First one is using an equation. The second one is using the graph. Here, how to find out the gradient? According to our definition, we know that coefficient of x is the gradient, the number in front of x. Therefore, what is the gradient here? M equals 3. Gradient is 3. Intercept C, the number after the x, that is 2. Here y equals 4x. Y equals mx plus c. Here you don't have c, therefore 0. What is the gradient there? Gradient equals 4. Here intercept equals 0. That is how we find the gradient of the straight line. Next one, 2y minus x equals 5. In this case, this is not the form of y equals mx plus c. Then what to do? You have to divide whole equation by 2 to get 1 in front of y. Therefore, 2y equals x plus 5, divide by 2, then you have y equals half x plus 5 over 2. Now the gradient is half. Intercept is 5 over 2. Now, in second question, fourth one, in fourth question, gradient is the number in front of x. The number in front of x, therefore we can see the gradient minus 2 over 3. Intercept is c equals minus 1. Using an equation, we can find out the gradient, making the coefficient of y as 1. First, we have to subject y in the given equation, right? Now, fifth one. Here you can see that the coefficient of x is 5. As a result of that, m equals 5, intercept c equals minus 3. Then you have to convert this equation into the form of y equals mx plus c. It means you have to subject y. Here you have 1/3 y equals, after changing minus 5, you will have plus 5, x plus 5. Now multiply whole equation by 3, because the condition is the coefficient of y should be 1. Then multiply by 3, then y equals 3x plus 15. Then what is the gradient? Gradient equals 3, intercept equals 15. Intercept equals 15. C equals 15. Right? Then Geometrical description of the gradient of a straight line. How to represent the gradient geometrically. Geometrical interpretation of the gradient. How to do it? Using the Cartesian plane and the two distinct points, we can find out two positions. If you consider first point as x1, y1, second point x2, y2, we will see we define the coefficient m of x in the equation y equals mx plus c as the gradient of the straight line. This is what we want to interpret here, right? Let us consider the straight line given by y equals 2x plus 1. Let us use the following table of values to draw its graph. Here x coordinate minus 2, 0, 2, corresponding y coordinates using the method of substitution. You can see that y equals 2 multiplied by minus 2 minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3. Here 2 multiplied by 0 is 0 plus 1, then y coordinate is 1. When x equals 2, we want to find out the value of y. We want to find out the value of y. In a point, there are two numbers. First number is called x coordinate, second number is called y coordinate. We have to find out y values or y coordinates using the given x values, right? Then when x equals to 2 multiplied by 2 is 4 plus 1, 5. At least you must have 3 points. 2 points are enough. To get the real shape, you have to maintain 3 points before drawing the straight line. This is your Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane, right? This is x-axis, this is y-axis. You know, according to the given coordinates, minus 2, x coordinate is minus 2, y coordinate is minus 3, minus 2, minus 3. This is the point. Next one, 0, minus 1, 0, minus 1, 0, minus 1 here. Then 2, 5, here 2 and 5. There is an additional point here, there is an additional one. When x equals 5, 2 into 5, 10, 10 plus 1, 11. There is an additional point. Using these 4 points, we can draw the graph of the function y equals 2x plus 1. Here gradient is 2, intercept is 1, right? This is the intercept. The y coordinate of this intersected point is the intercept. Understood it? Right. Then let us take the 3 points as A, B, C, right? We consider 3 points using the equation. First consider the point A and B. Draw a line from A parallel to the x-axis and a line from B parallel to y-axis and name the point of intersection of these lines as P. It is clear that line coordinates of the point P are 2, 1. We will see it. The length of AP is 2. Length of AP is 2. Length of AP is 2. How to find out the length of AP? AP. Here you know x coordinate is 2. the horizontal length from the origin. Here you have 2. Now, also length of AP equals 2 minus 0 is 2. Length of BP 5 minus 1 equals 4. Now, we will see. Now, for the point A and B, vertical distance over horizontal distance. What is the vertical distance? BP. Vertical distance is taken by on y-axis. If you want to find out the horizontal distance, then you have to consider x-axis. Difference of x coordinates, here difference of y coordinates. We will see later. Then vertical distance over horizontal distance, BP over AP, 4 is divided by 2, then 2. Now, how to get the gradient using this relation? Vertical distance is divided by horizontal distance. Numerical value is 2. In the equation also you can see the coefficient of x is 2. There are 2 results. Same concept. Vertical distance over horizontal distance is 2. Gradient is 2. Therefore, finally we can say that gradient is equal to vertical distance over horizontal distance. How to get the vertical distance? Difference of y coordinates. How to get the horizontal distance? Difference of x coordinates. As a result of that, we can define the gradient of a straight line using 2 points, difference of y coordinates over difference of x coordinates. If you want to find out the gradient from an equation, the coefficient of x is called the gradient. There are 2 ways of finding the gradient of a straight line, using an equation or using the graph. It means 2 points on the Cartesian plane. Okay. Now, here generally we considered point A as x1, y1, point B as x2, y2. Coordinate geometry. Using coordinates, we are going to define a very, very important mathematical concept. Right? There are 2 points, distinct points. Now, develop a formula to find the gradient of a straight line using its graph. Consider any straight line with equation y equals mx plus c. Now, consider any 2 points as we considered in the diagram, A x1 y1 and B x2 y2 on the straight line. Since these 2 points lie on the straight line, y coordinate is y1, x coordinate is x1. We know the gradient is m, intercept is c. As a result of that, y1 is equal to mx1 plus c. This is our first equation. According to the point we considered as A. Then similarly, y2 equals mx2 plus c. Here you know x coordinate. You can substitute all the x coordinate after the m. Right? Here y coordinates. From the very beginning you can substitute any y coordinate on the straight line. The condition is they should be on the line. Then from equation 1 and 2, you can take the difference. Y1 minus y2 equals m x1 minus x2. What has happened to C? When subtracting these two equations, C is cancelled. Now, y1 minus y2 equals m is common here. You have to use your knowledge of common factors, m times x1 minus x2. Then you can divide both sides by x1 minus x2. As a result of that, you have m equals difference of y coordinates is divided by difference of x coordinates. This is the definition of the gradient of a straight line. If you want to find out the gradient using 2 points, remember the word, using 2 points if you want to find out the gradient, then consider difference of y coordinates and divide it by difference of x coordinates. Right? The same thing, the gradient of the straight line equals y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. Now we are going to practice the concept, solving problems. The coordinates of 2 points on a straight line are 3, 10 and 2, 6. Find the gradient of the straight line. Then 3, 10. 3, 10, right? Next one 2, 6. You can consider this is as x1, y1, x2, y2. If you want to consider this one as x2, y2, you can consider here x1, y1, no problem. Right? As you like, you can select. Gradient of the straight line according to our definition, y1 minus y2, x1 minus x2, then y1 is 10 minus 6 should be divided by 3 minus 2, it means 6 over. It means 4 over 1 equals 4, right? Now we know that the gradient of this straight line is 4. Second question, second one. Yes, my dear children, now you can see another problem. Is there any difference with the first question? You see the intercept of the graph of a straight line is 3. The coordinate of a point on the graph is 2, 7. Write the equation of the straight line. In last example, we considered 2 points here, intercept, right? Intercept. Okay. The equation of a straight line graph with gradient m and intercept c is y equals mx plus c, right? Then how to find out the value of c? C is given, that is 3. 2, what is 2? The number after the m, x coordinate. 7 is y. Then how to manage these values with the standard equation? By substituting the value of the intercept and coordinates of the point on the graph into the equation of the function, we obtain y equals mx plus c. Then 7 is our y coordinate, 2 is our x coordinate, 3 is our intercept. Now this is a simple equation. Subtracting 3 from both sides, you have 7 minus 3, here 2m. Divide both sides by 2, then you have gradient as 2. Understood it? Right. By substituting c equals 3 and m equals 2, then you have the general equation of the straight line y equals 2x plus 3. Intercept and point. In our first question, 2 points. Identify the difference. Third question, find the equation of the straight line which passes to the point 1, 7 and 3, 15. To obtain the equation, find the gradient and the intercept of the graph. To find the gradient and the intercept of the graph, first we have to find out the gradient, then you have to find out the intercept. After that you can find out the equation. If you want to find out the equation, gradient and intercept should be obtained using the definitions. Here it is easy to find out the value of m because you have 2 points. 2 points means 2 y coordinates. It means 2 x coordinates. Then you can consider the difference of y coordinates and difference of x coordinates. According to the definition, y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. Here x1 y1, x2 y2. You can consider 15 as y2, 7 as y1, 3 as x2, 1 as x1. In this case, we consider this one as y1, this one as y2. 7 minus 15 divided by 1 minus 3. Right here, 7 minus 15 is, what is the value? Minus 8 divided by minus 2. Then you have gradient as 4. We want to find out the value of c. We have the gradient. X coordinate is 1, y coordinate is 7. You can consider any point on the straight line. Any point. I considered the point 1, 7. If I consider point 1, 7 which is on the straight line, the coordinates should be satisfied by the equation. Then x equals 1, y equals 7, m equals 4. This is our standard equation of a straight line. Substituting y7, right, we know m is 4 multiplied by 1 plus c, we do not know the value of c here. C is the variable, therefore, we can see 7 minus 4 equals 3. If I explain furthermore, 4 plus c, right, here c equals 7 minus 4. As a result of that, c equals 3. Okay. Then the gradient of the graph is 4 and the intercept is 3. Therefore, the required equation is y equals mx plus c, 4x plus 3. Now, we are going to consider a very important graph. Curved line graphs, curved line graphs, straight line graphs and curved line graphs. There are 2 types of graphs in this lesson. We discussed about straight lines, y equals mx plus c. Now we are going to consider about curved line graphs. What is the general equation of a curved line graph? We will see step by step. Here we are going to discuss graph of functions of the form y equals ax squared, right? Then we are going to draw the graph of y equals x squared, y equals x squared. Then what is the value of a? A equals 1 here. What is the meaning of a? A is a real number, except 0, except 0. A is a real number except 0. It means a is positive or a is negative. In this case, a is a positive value. Furthermore, in this case, a greater than 0, a equal to 0, a less than 0. They are the cases of a. But by the definition, we know that a is not equal to 0. We consider y equals x squared. It means a equals 1. This case. When the coefficient of x squared is positive, we are going to find out the shape of the graph. Shape of the graph. Okay, we will see it. Here x has a range from -3 to +3. This is the range of x, -3 to +3. Using this range, we want to find out the values of y. How to get it? Substitute when x equals -3, -3 squared, right? We want to consider x equals -3, y equals x squared. It means -3 squared, that is +9. Likewise here, -2 squared means -2 multiplied by -2 +4. Then -1 multiplied by -1 +1, 0 multiplied by 0, 0, 1 multiplied by 1, 1, 2 multiplied by 2, 4, 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. Using that function, we can find out the value of y. 9, 4, 1, 0, 1, 4, 9. There is a special property. Can you see it? Additionally, I want to say you, how many y values here? 7. If you consider left hand side of the straight line, 9, 4, 1. Right hand side, 1, 4, 9. Symmetrical values. By considering the symmetry of the curve, by considering the symmetry of the curved line graph, you can find out right hand side values if you have left hand side values. Suppose you have 9, 4, 1. If 0 is the midpoint, you can see that on right hand side also same order, 149, 149. By considering the symmetry, right? There are two ways of finding the y values, using the substitution method or otherwise by considering the symmetry. Okay. Now this is our Cartesian plane. This is our Cartesian plane. Then you have to include these points on the Cartesian plane like this. Y equals ax squared is defined as a parabola. This is a parabola. Now we are going to draw a parabola. Graph of the function. Graph of the function. Points. You can see points. You can see points like this. These are points in the Cartesian plane. Points. point. Now smooth curve, this should be a smooth one. Smooth one means no width, right? Smooth curve, you will have one mark for smooth curve. Naming axis, one mark. Drawing the graph, one mark. How many marks there? One mark here. Drawing the graph. For a smooth curve also you have one mark. Usually 3 marks. Right? Now this is the shape of the curve. This is called a minimum curve. Minimum one. If you want to find out minimum or maximum, you can pay your attention for the coefficient of x squared. If a is greater than 0, a is greater than 0, it means positive values if you have in front of x squared, you have minimum curves. Draw the graph of the function y equals x squared, y equals 2x squared and y equals half x squared on the same coordinate plane. You can consider x coordinates as -3 to +3. Using those values you can find out the y coordinates. We will see the graph. Here y equals 8 when x equals -2, 2 when x equals -1, 0 when x equals 0, 2 when x equals 1, 8 when x equals 2. Here half x squared, after dividing by 2, you have 2, half, 0, half, 2. This is your y equals x squared. Okay. Our first one. Second one, marking points. Can you see it? We mark points. Then, right, this is our y equals 2x squared parabola. Y equals 2x squared. Points, marking points. Can you see it? Y equals half x squared. There are 3 curved line graphs. We'll see the opposite one. We consider graphs, minimum graphs with various equations. Here, draw the graph of the functions y equals -x squared. Can you see here? What is our general equation? Y equals ax squared. Here you can see instead of a you have -1. -1 is a negative value. Now we are going to define curved line graphs when a is less than 0. A is less than 0. These types of graphs are called maximum curved line graphs. Right? The same way, x coordinates -2 to +2, y coordinates according to the definition of y, here y equals -x squared, then -2 you can substitute here, -2 squared means -2 multiplied by -2 plus 2, because of this minus and you have -4. Here also -1 into -1 plus 1, because of this minus sign you have -1. Here 0 into 0, 0, 1 into 1 plus 1, because of this minus sign, again you have -1. 2 into 2, x squared means squaring 2, 2 into 2, 4, because of this minus sign you have -4. Got it? Right. Then minus 2x squared, you multiply this coordinate by 2, minus 8, minus 1 into 2 minus 2, minus 2 into 0 0, minus 2 into minus 1, here multiplied by 2, minus 8, just multiplied by 2 because you have minus sign here, here also minus sign, no? Just multiplied by 2, you can understand. Minus half x squared, it means divide all these y coordinates by 2, right? Minus sign is common, divided by 2. After that you have minus 2, minus half, 0, minus half and 2. Now you can see the nature of the parabola. Maximum curved line graphs. Now there is a special case here, y equals ax squared, a equals 0, we do not define the curve. A greater than 0 means what is the minimum? Remember it, minimum curve. A less than 0, maximum, minimum and maximum. Here you can see graph of functions of the form y equals ax squared plus b. If you have only x squared term, the turning point of the curve is on the origin. Here plus 3, there is a relation. Here plus 3, y coordinate also 3. Here b is a constant value. This constant value represents the maximum value or minimum value of the curved line graph. This is a minimum curve, therefore 3 is the minimum value of the function in a minimum curved line graph. If you consider maximum one, we will see it. Now draw the graph of the function y equals x squared plus 3. You have to select minus 2 to plus 2. Then when minus 2, x equals minus 2, minus 2 squared 4 plus 3 7. Here minus 1 squared 1 plus 3 4. 0 squared means 0 plus 3 3. Here substitute 1 here, 1 squared plus 3 4. Here consider 2. 2 squared is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7. After marking these points, you can draw this graph. Here draw the graph of the function y equals minus x squared plus 3. Value range of x minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. Substitute minus 2 here, minus 2 squared 4. Here there should be a minus sign, minus sign. Then minus 4 plus 3 is minus 1. Minus 1 squared plus 1, minus 1 plus 3 is 2. 0, 0 squared 0 plus 3. Here 1, 1 squared. It means minus 1 plus 3 plus 2. Here 2, 2 squared is 4, 2 squared is 4. Y equals minus 2 squared minus 2 squared is 4 minus 4 plus 3. As a result of that you have minus 1. Now after marking the points on the Cartesian plane, you can get this curve. It is clear that this is a maximum curved line graph, maximum one. Therefore, this plus t is called maximum value of the function, maximum value of the function, right. Here y equals minus x squared plus 3, minus sign is maximum, minus maximum, plus minimum. According to the sign of square term, you can decide the curve is a minimum curve or maximum curve, right. Y equals minus x squared plus t, this is a maximum curve. Now the lesson is over. Now we have to consider the summary of the lesson. What are the essential learning concepts of this lesson, right? Summary. Straight lines. What is the general equation of a straight line? Y equals mx plus c. What is the gradient? Gradient is m. How to define the gradient? Gradient is the number in front of x when the number in front of y is 1. Coefficient of x when the coefficient of y is 1. Here if you have 2y, divide whole equation by 2. Intercept. Intercept. Intercept means the place where straight line intersect the y-axis. Suppose this is S1, therefore intercept is 1, right. If you have a line passing through the origin, now intercept is 0. What is the equation of this form? Y equals only mx. 1. Y equals only mx. These are from straight lines. Then curved line graphs. Curved line graphs. Y equals ax squared. There are two cases here. A greater than 0, you have minimum curves. Minimum curves. A less than 0, you have maximum curves. This is the basic form. Now we can pay our attention for the last part of the curved line graph. Y equals ax squared, we discussed. Then y equals ax squared plus b. Our third one, y equals ax squared plus b. Here also there are two cases. When a greater than 0, you have a minimum curve like this, minimum curve. When a less than 0, you have maximum curve, right. This is the minimum or maximum value, minimum or maximum value. How to define the minimum value? Minimum value means y coordinate of the lowest point. Minimum value means y coordinate of the lowest point. Maximum value means y coordinate of the highest point, right? This is our third topic. It means final part of the lesson. There are two types of questions based on graphs, one short answer question and essay type question, 12 marks. Understood it? There are 12 marks based on graphs. What is the theme of the graph? Algebra. Today we discussed essential learning concepts based on graph part 1. Next day I will come to meet you with our next lesson, graph part 2. Now I am going to stop our graph part 1. Next day I hope to see you with graph part 2. Goodbye to all.